What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devan. That's Melo. And below, the name speaks for itself. Duke and Riley Pettijohn. How you fellas doing tonight?
We're good tonight. We're doing good. How you guys?
Blessed, man. Blessed.
Yep.
Little bit under the weather, but shoot, aren't we all from time to time? You know what I mean? So
It's that time of year.
yeah. Anyway, this is a big deal, man. It's a big deal. We got Riley Pettijohn on, newly signed Buckeye, the best linebacker in the nation on all accounts, in my eyes and most people's eyes. So, Riley, welcome, man. We appreciate you joining us.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So, first off, man, I'm going to jump the gun a little bit, and I just got to know. So you've been like verbally committed, and I'm guessing you knew this whole time you were going to sign with the Buckeyes, but did it get a little more exciting when it actually came that time to be able to sign your name on a piece of paper? Describe those feelings for us, if it was different.
Yes, sir. It actually was different. Being able to sign, knowing that it's official, and it was definitely exciting.
Yeah. What about you, Duke? Does it as a parent, how did it feel for your son to sign the dotted line to be a Buckeye?
It was cool. Just that it was a combination of all the visits, all the conversations, and to finally put pen to paper and seal the deal. It was exciting, man. It really was.
Yeah. I know Buckeye.
I'm sorry. So, Duke, how was it different going through this process with Riley as opposed to when you went through it yourself?
Oh well, I didn't do it with my dad. I didn't have a dad. I didn't have it was totally different. So that was that part was special to me. Being able to almost like a do over. And with the roles reversed, I get to do it with my son, and and experience it with him. Just like the recruiting trail, doing all that too with him. So it was special for sure.
Amen. So Riley, man, we want to give this opportunity, right? Let Buckeye Nation get to know you a little better. So I always start off questions like this with, in your childhood. What were your hobbies, man? What would you like to do for fun? We already heard your mom come on and talk a little bit about what you did in the sports and all that stuff. But if you're not playing football, what are you gonna do? What are you doing?
If I'm not playing football, when I was a kid, I was always outside, just running around, like at the park, riding bikes, playing with my friends. I played basketball and ran track too, so I was always playing basketball with my brother or messing around with him too.
Yeah, I heard your brother's here in Tallahassee balling up on the courts here, so I got to go find him here somewhere and get on there because I played a little ball myself, so we'll see how it goes.
Dad, do not get dumped on. And if you do, we need the video.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. He's been doing that a lot recently, so
hey, listen. Hey, I used to be able to throw it down, but I'm 33 now. I would tear something, break something. It wouldn't be good. It would be bad, man. All bad. But anyway, Riley, so obviously we know big-time football player now, but walk us through when that occurred. At what point in time in life did you start playing football, and what was that like for you, and when did you really fall in love with the sport?
I've been playing since I was like 4 or 5. I've always just always been active, so they just put me in football with my older brother. I was on the same team as him. It was just fun just being able to play with him at first, and then whenever I finally got to be on like my own team without him, I made friends, and was able to play, like score touchdowns, make tackles, make plays with them. And just like through middle school, it was fun too, but I just didn't know if like it was like for sure what I wanted to do. But my freshman year, my first game, I had 2 interceptions and like an 80-yard touchdown. And then that's when I knew I could, if I really like locked in and like was on my stuff, then I would be able to do something big and take it far.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Duke, as his dad, obviously you come from a huge football background, played it yourself. So,
Mhm.
what was that? What was that like watching Riley get in there playing his first snaps of football?
First it was funny because no, really was not because he was like just all over the place, and so I end up. I didn't want to coach them, early on. I just wanted to, just watch. I didn't want to make them feel like, oh, dad played, you got to play. I wanted them like discover it themselves. But it worked out to where, the president of the league that they were going to play in asked me to step in for the guy who volunteered. So I was like, sure. It was a cool way. And it was 11 on 11, flag. I was like, oh, it'd be cool to teach the whole game, to the kids. And then I'm like, shoot, he gonna have to play too then. So come on. And so, he's just out there running, trying to tackle everybody, even though it's flag, and taking people's flag. And he's always had a penchant of like going after the biggest person. Like whoever was the biggest kid, he's going after him and tackling, wrestling him, challenging him. So I was like, okay, yeah, this dude is nuts. So and then he got into pads, earlier because he started earlier, and it didn't affect him. Still, one of the smallest guys, but had the biggest heart out there, and it just continued to grow, man, and. Just there were a couple of games just seeing him like just his competitiveness and fearlessness. Like it was a couple of times, I got I got like teary-eyed like watching him compete, at one of the toughest times, in the game at a very young age.
Yeah.
And I was, man, this dude loves it, man. And then it just, continued to go. And he he started to feel it and recognize it himself. And like I told all my kids, if you're passionate about something, I'm never going to have to motivate you. It's always going it's going to be something that is self-driven internally. And he took it to heart, man, and ran with it and continues to do that.
Yeah, 100%, man. So Ron Tarver, thanks for the $2, man. Welcome to the family. Congrats, Riley. Buckeye, man. So, yeah, chat. Obviously, we lost Melo. Melo has a little bit of internet trouble from time to time. Looks like he's coming back in, so we're going to try to get him back on air. There he is. Melo, how you doing? Uh-oh.
I'm good.
You're freezing again, but that's all right. Well, you're good to
right
go
now?
right now. No.
You shouldn't be freezing.
Yeah, you're good now. You did a little bit, but all is well. So,
No,
yeah.
you got to get off that dial-up, man.
Man, so where I live, this is a fairly new community, but it's like backed up into some into like a county park. So it's on the actual Xfinity side. They're trying to fix it and they're building a new community, and then they're gonna get fiber optics. So just waiting on that, to be honest with you.
I know the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Riley, are you do you know anything about Buckeye Nation, man, and the way this fan base acts sometimes? Are you ready for this?
Yeah, sorry. I definitely got to look at it after that loss.
Yeah, it gets wild, man. Some of these, some fans, I get pretty emotional, but I reel it in and get back to reality. But I wanted to ask you, Riley, obviously being as physically gifted as you are and athletic as you are, and your dad coming from a football background as well, how did you get in to be a linebacker? Because I'm sure when you started football, with your gifts you had, you were probably playing all different kind of positions, man. So, what other positions have you played in football? And then when was that moment where you really zoned into being a linebacker?
I've always played running back and linebacker, and I played safety in middle school and my freshman year. And after my freshman year, they moved me to outside linebacker. So that's really when I was fully back to linebacker.
Okay, I got you. Got another Buckeye fan saying welcome to the family as well. So, Duke, I got a question for you, man. Did you watching Riley play football? Did did you know what position he would play? I know you're pretty familiar with the game of football. Could you see him playing linebacker at a young age, or did you maybe think D end or something different?
Yeah, I always thought DM, but I had to be realistic about it. I mean, because I was a linebacker. I went to college as recruited as a linebacker, and they moved me to end. So I know my frame. He had the same frame, so he had a linebacker frame. But with the changing of the game now, he is the edge frame too. There's no longer that tweener label. And he had the ability to do that. But realistically, as he grew, as he grew, it shifted, and just for recruiting purposes, and how he's built, it just made sense. And how we started from safety was just a great way to learn the game from the back to the front. So he has a different perspective when he is at linebacker. He's very familiar with with coverages and rushing. So it actually was the best approach to his development for sure.
Yeah. So for me, like what I see from Riley personally, I don't know if you see this as well, but to me, I see him. He could cover like a DB.
Mm-hmm.
He can come off the edge and pass rush like a DN. He reads and reacts and fills gaps like a Mike linebacker, and he can cover sideline to sideline. He really reminds me of like a young Fred Warner. I don't know if you see the same or if I'm.
No, I agree, 100%. Yeah, I think he'll by the time he's fully developed, I think he'll be a better rusher than Fred.
Yeah,
I'm not saying a lot, but he has.
I like it.
He has a little more insight into rushing the passer and pass rush moves,
right.
And stuff like that. So,
yeah,
but Melo, I agree with you 100%.
So you think I did a good job assessing?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, another good comp is that Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah.
Like the Clemson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so Riley, if you could, number one, first part of the question, you just heard a couple comps to you, but who do you see yourself playing? Like, if you have a comp, like who is your favorite player that you watch? And then could you describe to us a little bit what it is about linebacker that makes you love that position?
I definitely think Fred Warner and Roquan Smith, both of them, I feel like a mix of them two. But you said what do I love about playing linebacker?
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah, just being able to like just be everywhere. And I'm in the middle of the play. I get to like I can go defend the pass and rush the passer, play the run, all of that. And be able to make a whole bunch of plays. I feel like that's where you can make the most plays is at linebacker. So yeah.
So how does it feel? If I'm not mistaken, you have two family members that play on the team with you, right?
Yeah, Cam and Kyler, my cousins. Oh,
so how does it feel playing on the team with family? Because obviously you guys are a genetically gifted family for all of you guys to be playing on such high levels.
Yeah, it was just really cool because I remember when they had first started football, it was like it was around like taking football seriously. Both of them, they were back in Boston, and we always talked about like because they always wanted to move down here with us. and be able to play and come to our school. And when they finally moved down here, we weren't sure if they were going to be on the varsity. And that summer, or yeah, them 2 years coming into high school, they both were just working hard. I remember seeing their progress. They was starting to make plays and 7-on-7 things like that. And then this year they both made the team, and they both ended up starting. So that it was just really cool. And throughout the season, we all was just making plays, being out there all together. It was just great.
Yeah, so one of our regulars in the chat, Buck Vader 1977, wants to know if you see yourself as a Mike or a Will linebacker.
Definitely both. I can play.
Yeah, for sure. So, as we know, the recruiting world has gone bonkers here in the last couple of years. Absolutely wild, man. So, can you explain to us that moment when you received your first offer? Who was it? And then also that feeling when the big time offers started to come in. What was that like for you?
I remember it was after my freshman year. I was 14. Northern Arizona offered me, or Northern Arizona University offered me. It was just great, like, because I remember that summer. It was towards the end, starting my sophomore year. I had been in the gym. I was working hard at camps and stuff. And then my coach had texted me and told me they wanted to offer me, and it was really cool to receive my first scholarship. And when the first big one started coming in, the first big one to me was SMU. That was like my third offer, and then Baylor started coming, Texas Tech, things. Then like the more local schools, and then USC offered me. They offered me pretty early too. So, no, like when those offers started coming in, I just started working hard even more because I just wanted more offers from schools around the nation.
Yeah,
it felt great to break USC's heart. I'm not gonna lie, as a Buckeye fan, now that they're in the Big Ten, they were on their podcasters and message boards were going crazy when you decided to go to Ohio State, and I was so happy.
That's funny.
Yeah, we glad you're a Buckeye now for sure, man. So this question is for both of y'all. One from a parent's perspective, one from a player's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
What when the recruiting process started, I know you have your normal answers of relationship and all those things, and that might be the number one answer, but can you guys go a little deeper as to Duke, what you were looking for as a father, and Riley, what you were looking for as a player when it came to the school that you ultimately chose? Like, what were you looking for? What were the signs that made you believe this might be a school that I want to play at?
For me, a lot of what I look for is based off, my experience and, what I didn't want, and knowing, about the recruiting process. So the biggest thing for my wife and I was just authenticity. And, seeing that, the school did their research and, it took a holistic approach to recruiting him. And we're just trying to, isolate him, talk to him, and, have him make a decision. Because I felt like, schools that do that, it can cause a little, rift between the parent and, the parents and the kid, because they're having different conversations. But outside of that, just program that you can see what they're talking about in their, from top to bottom, they're, a lot of that culture buzzword, this and that, looking through that bull crap, and saying, are you living what you're talking? And the schools that we narrowed it down to all had that, from, the head coach down. And, we asked, the tough questions. We didn't want to hear anything about, just blowing, just puffing them up and, oh, you're the best, this and that. And, you're gonna start. We didn't want any of that. We wanted to hear like, oh, you have an opportunity to come here and compete, contribute, and this is how and what we see you doing, and how and being able to identify his weaknesses and lining those up with how they were going to improve him in those areas, and integrate him into their program, but also the education piece.
Yeah.
Being able to have the programs that he's looking for, and allowing him to pursue those things without it being a conflict with with football practice, and then having to go another route because of conflicting practice, and that being important as well. And then just I looked at the cohesion in the meeting rooms. We sat in at meetings, wanted to see how the current players interacted with the coach, the back and forth, and just the overall leadership in the room. Are there guys in there that are going to mentor him and help him along without feeling feeling like you're coming from our spot. Just listen for those cues, and Ohio State had all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Riley, how about for you, man? What were you looking for?
I was definitely looking for the development part. The development part of it. Like in their plan for me. Like the way they can make me better and help me achieve like my dreams of going to making it to the league. And Ohio State just like checked all them boxes, and it was just a plus with because Coach Laurinaitis was a Buckeye. He won the Buckeyes. Like he did all the things that I want to do there, and I feel like he has the tools and the knowledge to get me there.
Absolutely. That leads me to my question that I had. I was just wondering, I'm not sure because I was off for a little bit, but if Devan already asked you this, then we can move on. But what's your relationship like with Coach Laurinaitis and the rest of the 25 recruits, especially the other two linebackers and TJ Alford and Eli Lee?
Our relationship is good. With my relationship is good with Coach Laurinaitis. We talk a lot. We just went out to play to go bowling when we was up there. He's pretty funny. Like he relate to the recruits well, and because he's like a younger guy. Yeah. And my relationship with TJ and Eli is good too.
That's great to hear. Who won the bowling match?
Roommates.
Oh yeah, TJ's gonna be our roommate. But it was mini bowling, so I didn't do too good. But the second round, I tied it up with him, so it was all right.
Yeah. The chat's saying you're looking yoked. They want you to know what you're weighing right about now. It's Buckeye Nation, man. They'll ask you anything, bro. It's wild. You got to watch out.
I'm 215 right now.
215. Okay.
Woo, that's a big kid, man.
Yeah. Hey, so we got people asking, what do you know about the rivalry? We're going to get that to the end. We're saving that for the end for sure. But yeah, I was going to ask you if there's any players on this team right now, any of the linebackers that you connected with on any of your visits, or that you can see yourself playing like in the future. And then also, if you could walk us through that moment when you took a visit at Ohio State, Duke, you as well as a parent, what was it like taking that visit, walking through the Woody, meeting the coaches, the players, the whole 9 yards?
The first visit, it was really good. I just remember leaving and wanting to go back. I have a good relationship with Sonny and CJ Hicks. They're both pretty cool. And Peyton Pierce, he went to Lovejoy. It's like 15 minutes away, so I'm pretty cool with him too.
Yeah.
So did they take you through Buckeye Grove?
Oh yeah, Coach Laurinaitis took me. Yeah, he showed me.
I know I'm gonna see a few from your class with a tree up in there. I know you got a very good shot, and more than likely will have one yourself. So,
yes, sir.
So Duke, how about you? What was it like? I assume you were with him on those on his visit. So what was that like as a parent?
It was cool, man. It was funny because you know I could. At first I was like, when we visited the school up north, and we were watching the spring game. We were in the stand, and it was colder. It was cold, man. I'm looking at him. I'm like, bro, I can play in this, but seeing sitting here being a spectator, I don't know if I can do this, man.
Hey, that's actually my next question is about the weather there.
Yeah,
that vision was actually terrible. I remember I lost my you sure did.
I love it.
I had some candy in there. I took some gloves. They matched my school. I lost all of that.
Ah, dang, dude.
yeah. No, but and then being there, this all the schools, like the weight rooms were like amazing, and like it was crazy. I'm like, dang, they got this, and I knew that was happening, and then there. They had all those things, but it still was like it had a grimy work like atmosphere. I mean, you felt it as soon as you walked in the weight room, and I was like, man, this is dope. This is what I like. This is what the weight room is supposed to feel like. We got all the things, but when you come in here, we're coming in here to work, and then they play the the videos, and you see how the guys are getting after it, super competitive. Like they push each other, but they still, but they're all still trying to win and holding each other accountable. And that was the feeling we had, that whole weekend, and it just continued, and it lined up with what the what everyone was saying was the culture like there, and this made you believe it. And met Ryan Shazier. I used to love watching him.
Yeah.
And it was awesome to see him out there, walking around with everybody. And I think, what's his name? What was it, Trussell? Was it Trussell?
Yeah,
Trussell. Yeah, Trussell. Yeah. And it was just, Trussell. What's the other? Bobby Carpenter.
Yep.
Who was playing here when I was playing here with the Desperados, and just hearing. All the stories and, all those experiences, at Howard State, and it just all lined up, and I love that, that they have the guys who, older guys that come back and then pour into, to these guys. I love that. I love that about Ohio State.
Yeah, just a few more questions. We're not going to keep you here forever, Riley, but so. When you come to Ohio State, you always hear the saying, like, only the best come here. And like, the roster's a loaded roster. You got Sonny there. You got Arvell Reese. You got Peyton Pierce. What's that competitive edge that pushes you to come to a school where, quite frankly, very good players come, knowing that you're going to have to go in there and you're going to fight for a spot on that field? So, What's that like versus going to a school where there's nobody and you just walk right on the field?
It definitely like develops you as a person and like prepares you for life, because like you just gotta like grind and to get what you wanna achieve. Like it won't be handed to you, but you'll get better in the process. So being around those guys, I know is going to make me better.
Yeah. Amen, man. Somebody in the chat asked earlier, not sure if you can answer this yet, but as of now, what is your favorite thing about being a Buckeye?
My favorite thing about being a Buckeye? I don't really know yet.
Yeah, I didn't think so. It ain't been long. It ain't been long yet.
So, Riley, is your plan to enroll early?
Yes, sir. I'll be there January 3rd.
Awesome.
Nice. Okay, so what are a couple more questions here? What are your goals while you're at Ohio State for Buckeye Nation?
I definitely want to go 0-4 against team up, or 0-3 against
3.
3-0.
3-0 against Team Up North. I definitely want to win the Buckeyes there and the national championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, there's some good goals. So, do you, you kind of see how the fan base reacted after this last game? We're not caught up on that now. We in the playoffs, 10-2 team. We're about to go win the Natty, baby. But other than that, what's your thoughts on this rivalry, man? Coming in here, seeing how intense it is. Do you understand it yet? Are you ready for it? Are you excited for it?
Yeah, I definitely understand it, and I'm excited. I love rivalries, and I don't think I'm gonna lose to them while here.
Amen. I don't think you're going to either.
Neither do I.
No.
I don't play. I don't plan on it.
We whooping up on them, man. So I'm gonna ask both y'all, Duke. I think I might have asked you this last time you were on. Duke, I'll start with you. So let's talk about the team this year real fast. Final question. Then we'll have some final words, get you out of here. What do you think of the Buckeyes this year? What are we gonna do in these playoffs, Duke?
Shoot, man, I think that they're gonna make the requisite adjustments. It sounds like the staff is aware of where they fell short, in the losses, and now it's a new season, right? New season, new energy, same talent that they're gonna maximize, going forward. And shoot, only I think the only team that can stop them is them.
Amen.
And I see great things going forward.
From your lips to my ears.
Yeah.
Riley, how about you, man?
I think definitely with this bye week, they'll get a chance to rest up and game plan for their opponent that they don't know yet. But they'll definitely have a lot of time to prepare and get some momentum after this first playoff win, and they'll go all the way for the Natty and win the Natty.
Amen. Melo, you got any final thoughts, questions?
Man, it's great. We appreciate you guys joining us. It's been an honor to interview the best linebacker in the country, and we can't wait to see you donning that scarlet and gray in Columbus. And I hope you have a great rest of the year and crush school and just enjoy your family and your support system, because you have a beautiful support system. They're there for you. You can always lean on them no matter what. And I know that you already know this, but don't ever take that for granted, man. Seriously. Not a lot of people have that same support system. You know what I mean? So enjoy it. Keep God first, and we appreciate you. Hopefully we could get you back on the show.
Yeah. Amen, for sure. Riley, tell Buckeye Nation what kind of player we're getting on the team. What kind of linebacker we getting, man? You going to bring some fire to this team?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. High motor, flying around and making plays.
Love it, man. Well, I appreciate both of you. Duke, Riley, you got any final words to say to Buckeye Nation?
Yeah, hey, I'm just excited to be a part of it, man, and get ingrained in the Buckeye craziness, and and just watch and watch the program just take off, man, and continue to dominate in the Big Ten and across the country.
Amen. Riley, any final words?
Go Bucks.
Amen, man. Well, hey, we appreciate you guys coming on, chat. We appreciate you showing up. Get in the chat. If you're in the chat, man, show Riley some love, dude. Best linebacker in the nation, coming with the best linebacker class in the nation. So we're pumped to have you guys. On that note, go Buckeyes. OH.
Thanks for having us.